Dear fellow economists, let's admit our economic science sucks. We have a limited clue how our economies work, what adds real values to our societies, and how to create an economic and social order that promotes these values. We even fail to explain, much less foresee, market recession or financial crash. And it's so political. We fight forever about the most desirable relationship between governments and markets. No, markets are not always good, and governments are not always bad. And we know surprisingly little about something so important, like inflation. Our abstract and backward looking economic models, fed by statistical literacy, but separated from our social sciences. Yes, they study the same individuals and the same social groups, are widely seen as failing to deal with innovation and uncertainty of the future. And to understand the multiple forces shaping our human misbehaviors. As some of our opponents say, we measure everything except that which is worthwhile. Please be honest. Are you one of those highly academic homo economicus, always pursuing your best long-term interests, given all available information? Because I'm not. I don't always behave rationally, and I chase many complex objectives at the same time. My choices can be driven by pleasant emotions or stress. I have this tendency to focus on my future well-being to the detriment of my present happiness. And I don't invest enough in a healthy consumption and physical exercise. I also take risks, too many of them. I don't think, however, despite my heartbreaking criticism, that by practicing economics, I'm involved in something you could call a pseudoscience. As a professional group, we really do many useful and valuable things. But I still question the very foundations of our economic discipline and its relevance to the real world, which have ended up with soaring economic inequality in unhappy societies, full of anxious and angry people. In the simplistic view, we don't measure up to the greatest problem today, because we can no longer deliver on a promise of sustainable standard of living. So to prove our professional usefulness for the future prosperity, we have to develop a new kind of economics of living, much more focused on national wealth, including environmental and social capital. The real world represents a chaotic and unpredictable matrix, unsuitable for any econometric model. Worse again, the modern economy, with its millions of economic actors, is always forward-looking, striving for things which have never happened before. Dear colleagues, our field, fundamentally incompatible with any hard science, has its own quasi-Nobel Prize. Let's give it to ourselves in appreciation of our collective failure of ordinary people, with our flawed models, with our obscure jargon, and with our dogmatic ideology. Time for future-proof quantum economics.